All right, good people. We are here on another episode of Fifth Charge. I am your host, Shannyn Casino, aka Cinco. Man, I am so glad you guys tuned in. I am new setup. Just wanted to speak with you guys today in my vibe, in my recliner. I said I think it'll be a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more chill, a little bit more me. Still got the office. I still like that vibe too. But it's just a relaxed and chill day, and I just wanted to kick it with you guys from my recliner, right here from the loft here in my house. And I just wanted to kick it with you guys. Let's talk, have conversation. Yeah. I hope you guys had a good weekend and a good start to your week. I know I did. Chill, just a lot of ideas, a lot of new thoughts, new creativity coming in. But with new creativity, I did something this past weekend. I did something that was kind of something that I thought that I had let go. I let it go, and because maybe feeling like it's not what God wanted me to do. It ran its course. I've done everything, tried everything to get to where I was trying to go, and it didn't work. And so I thought I had let it go. Sometimes we feel as though we let go of something that, as they say, in the word it says, when you're a child, you play with childish things, and when you become a man, you put away childish things. That's what I thought anyway. And it wasn't necessarily a childish thing, but it was something that got me through my childhood, my younger years. And that thing is music. Music and, you know, sound and beats and song and lyrics. I've always been in love with lyrics. And so therefore I went into the computer, and that in which I thought I forgot, or that in which I thought that I erased, shall I say, that I erased and I let go of, I pulled out an old external, plugged it in, and opened up some files and some hidden files that I even had inside of the external. And man, what a pleasant surprise I got. There were songs and beats that I had made from back in the day that was still in the external, which I thought were completely gone. And really, I didn't even think about those songs because I felt as though, I'm just in a new space, a new place, a new spirit, a new walk in my life. And it's like, maybe music is gone. Music is just not my thing. I had my chance with it, and it's no longer with me. But when I found those songs, there was an excitement in my gut, in my spirit. There was like an ignition, a starting of an ignition in my heart when I heard these beats. There was a new confidence that I heard, even though the beats are dated or maybe old or whatever. How can I say this? They sound, for some reason, they sound better than they did when I first had created these patterns and these sounds and these beats. They sound better to me spiritually, to my ear. Like it felt good to hear these songs. Some old songs that I finished, and of course, as if there's any people out there who have a history of making music, if you are a producer, you have a ton of beats that everybody heard, but then there's a ton of beats that nobody has ever heard due to the fact that you probably didn't finish them, because that's what making beats are sometimes. Sometimes we start a beat, we might start a chord, we really like this chord, and then you start playing with the drums, and then you're like, I don't like no drum pattern that I made today. So you don't get rid of the chords, you just save it and you say, I'll get back to it. And Sometimes you never get back to it, and sometimes, if it's good, you know, you go back to it when the time is right. And that's what it kind of felt like when I heard these beats. It was like, man, like all of this is great work. This is great work that nobody has never heard. Um, Great work that in the space and the place that I was in before even walking with God, and I didn't maybe the confidence that I probably needed then to get those beats out there, those songs out there. I maybe didn't have then, or I heard them with a what kind of ear is that? A, for lack of better words, an insecure ear to my own creativity. It's like, nobody wants to hear that. That's not good enough. That's not like what they're doing today, or that's not like what my favorite artist is doing, so it's probably not good. But to listen to it today, um, seeming like 5 years later, 5 or 6 years later, I'm like, man, this is really good stuff. All stuff that I still could use to move forward. It's like one of those things, feeling like, you know the saying, uh, once you learn how to ride a bike, you never forget. And it makes me feel like I want to go back into making music. But but this time as a new person, I'm a new person. So it's like God was just kind of like giving me this time to like step away from it, because for most of my life it has been um, a coping mechanism. It has been what I hid behind when my feelings are messed up, or not understanding what's going on in my life. So it's that it's that comfort blanket, you know. So you run to it, and I think everybody has those things. Unfortunately, some people use drugs and negative and sinful things to cope. Um, I can never say that I was a drug addict, or necessarily an alcoholic or anything like that. I didn't drink any more, any less than young people partying in the time and in the days that I did. But I can say that I never used drugs pretty much as that's what I ran to get away from my issues or my problems. I can say that I'm thankful to God that I always had a sound or a tune or a beat in my head to run to. And music, dancing, song, beat, rhythm has been that for me. Like NBA players, a lot of basketball players, young, you see them on the court early and they out there all day by themselves and with people. It's like that's their comfort. When something's wrong, they don't know how to explain what they feel, they run to the court. Mine's was music. And so I'm saying I'm glad that I went into that old external drive and pulled out music again, and it kind of reignited it really. It's like it started the ignition, not only for music, but it spoke to me spiritually to say that it's not just music to rev up on and to start the ignition on, but every other idea that I have today have that same type of energy, that same type of spirit to go after it. That same spirit, that same excitement and energy, every business idea, every vision that I have or that you have. Go back to that thing. Go back to that thing that used to be your comfort blanket, and go back to that thing and feel it now, years down the line. And whatever that feeling that it gave you, use that energy, use that spirit to push you along into your new walk, into everything that you have going on around you. Use it as a new platform, because you're not the same person. You're not the same person that you used to be. I'm definitely not the same person that I used to be. So now, what does music sound like to me now? Now, what does your song sound like now, today? What is your song? What does it sound like now? What does it sound like now when you sing that song? When you sing that old song that you love to sing? What does it sound like now? It's going to sound different because you changed. You're a new person. You're a new artist. You have a new capacity. You can do more. It's blessed now. You found your identity now. You're not doing that thing that you used to do with the broken heart that you're used to doing it with. It's a healed heart now. You're a healed soul now. You're moving forward. You're growing. You have grown. Still growing. You're starting to fall in love more with who you are, who you are called to be. It's like take any old song that you used to love when you was a kid and then listen to it now. What you loved about that song then is very different as to what you love about it now. Now you have more life experience. Maybe perhaps you have found God as I did. Found God and submitted myself to his will, to his plan. So that was good that I got a chance to open up those old files, knowing where I was when I created those songs, and now seeing who I am today, who I'm still growing to be. It's just a new fire. It's just a new fire. And I hope that for you. I pray that you have a new fire for life, a new passion, a new song. Yeah. Speaking of songs, I got a chance to finally watch Kendrick Lamar Pop Out show. Hey, hands down, there's a lot of great rappers. There's a lot of great rappers out there. Awesome rappers, lyricists. Some of my favorites, Andre 3000, of course, Biggie, of course, Tupac. Um, some of my favorites, some of you probably would never know. One of my favorite rappers is Phife Dawg. Love Phife Dawg from Tribe Called Quest. Love Phife Dawg. Always loved his verses, his style, his cadence. Um, but there's many more that I love. But there's something about, once again, an artist like Kendrick Lamar, who we don't know our rap stars. We don't know any of them, right? We know their songs. We don't know them. But seemingly, to me, it seems like here's a man that totally identifies and gets who he is. On stage, off stage, in the studio, on the mic, off the mic, spiritually, I believe, grounded. With that being said, understanding that every man has a weakness, no man is perfect, right? No man is perfect. You're not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. Um, but here's a man who knows who he is and knows who he is and grounded so much that he kind of sees through, and especially with being inside of the music industry, it seems like I love artists that's had enough of the okey doke. Enough of, you know what I'm saying? For those, if you know, you know. Because I don't want to, I want to seem like I'm, talking about anybody, because I'm really not, but just my observation. Seems like he really gets who he is, and he's one that doesn't, the okey doke is enough. The gimmick is enough. It's like, what happened to true artistry? And everything it seems like Kendrick does is thought out, it's artistry, and he's clear in who he is. He's true to the art, lyrically and visually, because his videos are awesome, right? They're art. He's not selling a gimmick. And one thing I can say where I connect with them at when it comes to our community, I'm so sick of the gimmicks that's that's aimed at us as a people. I get sick of that. The gimmick is always aimed at us. And it's like the higher ups, they get that there's a weakness within our people that will follow. And unfortunately, we follow the wrong before we follow the good. We can't see through. Shine something in your face and you say, that's what I want. That sounds right to me, without reading the fine print, without listening deeper. We're not without paying attention to mannerisms that are before you. And that's what I do as a listener. I listen to what's real. I listen to who's real. Don't get me wrong. When you're in a club, and I've had my days in the club, when you're in the club, you are sold on the beat, the loud music, the drums. I get it. The repetition of a song, you get anybody can get tied up in that. But very few do I follow besides the record. Who I follow besides the hit record is who they are after that record. Who is that person? Truly. Does that person truly get what the people are dealing with, going through, who they really are? Do the person really get it? I wanted to speak on something. I paused because I wanted to speak on something because I'm like, I don't want this to kind of turn into a race conversation, because it's not race, but it's about understanding the culture. Do you really get the culture besides getting the culture at the level of, I know how to extract from it, but I don't know how or even care to contribute to it? Besides contributing back the weaker side of a community. You glorify it. They selling you on, you a real one. You a real one. They selling you on it. You a real one. You the homie. You the one. They selling you on it. But they're not going to teach you about what your community needs. That's why there's that song, They Not Like Us. It's I want to thank them for that. You know, I want to thank Kendrick Lamar for that, because that's he's he's not really just talking to Drake. And shout out to Drake, because Drake is an awesome, somebody said it and I have to agree, he's an awesome pop artist. He's an awesome pop artist. He has the greatest producers, the greatest engineers. He has the greatest system behind his texture of voice. And it works. So shout out to Drake, right? But my hat goes off to Kendrick, because they not like us is very important in a time of music. That line alone, they not like us. What? They're not. No. You're not a, what was the line? You're not a colleague, you're a colonizer. That line alone shuts down whatever the battle was supposed to be. It just shuts it down. And that one line, it was life changing to our whole community. Life changing. It was like a light came on for our community. A light came on and said, "Oh wow. Oh wow. Yeah. That's what it kind of feels like." And we have to wake up to that kind of energy, because they come dapping up, blinging up to try to look like you. In all actuality, don't even come close to who we are. And just pulling out from you the best that you are for them, for their cause, and not contributing back to what you need. That line, it goes beyond just rap. That line goes into the hair industry. I was here. There's a hair store here in the Charlotte area, and there's a couple of them around the city. And I'm looking at these stores that are for women, hair stores, and not one black woman owns any of these hair stores, or even in partnership with any of these hair stores. These hair stores do not give back to the community. And from what I understand, the hair industry for black women is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Multi-billion. So the hair industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry itself. Not talking about any of our other ethnic brothers and sisters from different cultures. We're talking about just in our community. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that nobody from our community has a handle on, or a hand on, or a hand in, or authority over. Think about that. And you know what we go on TV and we do? All these TV shows, these black based shows, everybody's fleek. It's the women. And don't get me wrong, it looks good. Look how creative you get with it. The people who's selling it to you can't create it better to make it look like what you make it look like. Your wigs and your styles and your extensions and your braids, and oh my God, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. But that's just it. We have become mannequins and statues for business, for other communities. But what do they pay the mannequin? The mannequin in the store that wears the outfit doesn't get paid anything. The mannequin just stands there and represents what we're selling. And then you go in and you buy the outfit. And I know it may sound crazy, but the mannequin doesn't get a check for that. The mannequin doesn't get fed. The mannequin, it gets nothing. You know what the mannequin gets? The mannequin gets, whatever that style is sold out, the mannequin gets another outfit. And it just keeps on going, and it keeps on going, and it keeps on going. Check back to our community. You keep on buying, you keep on buying, you keep on buying, you keep on buying. But you get nothing except for looking good in front of other people who don't have anything. You spent your last on something that is to look good for who? Now, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer on this, but check the line. You're not a colleague, you're a colonizer. They're not colleagues, they're colonizers. When you go to that nail shop and she'd be like, girlfriend. Ask her to donate for something that your daughter's doing for her school. Your son needs, your son's school needs, they need basketball uniforms. They need baseball uniforms. Your son's trying to go on a college school trip and you can't afford it. You're taking up a, you just go work harder. So that line that he said is a ministry. It's a ministry. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. He is to be protected. He's to be protected. Yeah. And I'm not, and once again, I'm not trying to knock Drake. I'm you know, of course, the music is dope. I'm not knocking Drake because I'm not for bringing anyone down. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not for bringing anyone down. I'm not for knocking the nail salon. I'm not for knocking the hair shops where you buy where the women buy their hair and things like that. I'm not for knocking them. I'm for raising a people up that should be awake by now. You are a full economic plan for people that are over in other countries. No matter how messed up America is so-called jacked up, messed up, but there are people still at the shores of other continents and other countries. They're at the shores praying, Lord, let me make it to America. Praying to their God. Because guess what? You don't even have to come here. You can come here with whatever God you got and make it. So let me get to America. I don't mind being a minority for a year. And they'll come over here and move into your community and within 6 months have a business open. course, there's other politics, because I know there's people out there that's listening that's like, oh, that's because the laws is like this, and when newcomers come and immigrants come, they take care of the immigrants and all of that, this, that, and the third. I get it. I'm not here to argue all of that. Not even trying to argue all of that. All I'm saying is somebody, somebody will make a beautiful life out of what you got right now. There is somebody in another country wishing they had your spot right where you sit and whatever it is you got. Some people see your glass while you're saying it's half empty. Some people will see your glass as half full. Oh my God, if I just had what Kareem had. If I just had what Shanika had. If I just had, oh, what? And the only thing you got to worry about is waking up in time to go get on a bus, to get on the train, to make it to that job that's going to pay you X amount. Some people in some countries right now, they wish they had a bus to get to the job. They wish they had a train line to get to the job, to feed their family, to build themselves up, to build their life up. And you want to know what's even more crazy about that, or beautiful about that? There's people somewhere that are more, they're more grateful with less than what you have. There are people somewhere else in another country at another shore more grateful with what they have, which is less than you. And if you ever gave them an opportunity to trade places with you, that's what they do. And that's what these businesses are doing around here. And that's how they see us, poorest community in America, but they still coming to make billions of dollars out of our community. So it says to me that we are not poor, because we're going to get that money. We're going to get the bag. We're not poor. We just don't know how to communicate business with each other. We don't know how to communicate business. We don't know how to give each other a break to get ahead together. Sometimes the music sells to you that it's just about you. See, there's a responsibility that comes with this, I believe. If you are born with this on this land, don't let nobody, don't let nobody make you believe that what you're doing is just about you. It's not. It's not. It's never just about you. If you grew up with a mama on welfare, if you grew up in a single parent home, if you grew up with parents that was ever addicted to any drugs, if you ever grew up on hand-me-downs, clothes, food pantries from the community, it's never just about you. Man, I watched it. I did. I watched that pop out, Ken and Friends, and I love the unity in it. I love what he's representing, the unity. I wrote a book called Sidewalk University, and it spoke to me spiritually because what Kendrick is wearing in the concert, it ministers to me, because my book cover of Sidewalk University is a young man in a red hoodie. In a red hoodie, and I guess the young man, it's not me, but it represents me as a young boy. But he has a red hoodie on the book cover. He's a red hoodie on, and he has a shirt and tie on under the hoodie. Oh man, that'll preach. He has a red hoodie on and a shirt and tie on under the hood. The red hoodie represents his environment. The red hoodie represents where he is, what he sees. And the shirt and tie represent where he's going, seeing where he's going, what he wants to do, breaking out of the mindset, the environment. To do it better. But in order to become better and do better for anybody else, you have to do better within yourself. You have to do better within. All the work that needs to be done is within your mindset to understand, okay, I'm going to do business and I'm going to do business with my people. Other people too, they're allowed. Let's not make it, I don't want to make this sound like other people are not welcome. Because other people are welcome. I love people, so I'll make that clear. I love people. So other people are welcome. But understand, you got to get your people there. There are so many other communities that are first generation that come here and they win. They win off of unity. They win off of unity. When they come here, they get with their family members that already was here, or they get with people that are from their land. They find community and they build on community. When we get to community, we can't continue to destroy it and break it down. We have to get together to build each other up. Find some leaders. Yeah. Yeah, man, I just wanted to kick it with y'all about that. That was just something that was on my spirit. I was like, I had to get that out. You're not the same person. I'm not the same person that I was when I first started making music. And I'm a different person now. I'm a different artist. I'm a different man. But that's what life is called. If you are still the same, when you look back from 10 years ago to today, and you look in that mirror and you see the same old guy, you are not growing, my brother. It's time to connect with the people that look like where you want to go. And the proof is in the pudding, because if you've ever been to prison and you've been to prison 2 or 3 times, I guarantee you, when you got out, every time you got around the same old people. Change is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. So you got to get around some new people, some new ideas, fresh thoughts, clear minds. What some people in our community would call square. Whatever. I'm older now. So I'm telling the young people, reading is cool. Square will keep you alive. Being a nerd, you the king. If you a nerd, anybody ever called you a nerd, know that you are the king or the queen in the room. I don't care what it look like. You are the one. If you are a nerd, reach out to me. I want to know you. I want to hear from you. I want to learn from you. You the king. You the queen. I don't care how swag they talk, how smooth they are with it. If you read books for fun, you the king. Yeah, I said it. I said it. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I just wanted to jump on and just kick it. Um, this is fun. I love this. This is Fifth Charge. I'm your host, Shannyn Casino, aka Cinco. Listen, I have a nonprofit organization called Tint of Grace. Make sure you guys log on to tentofgrace.org, www.tentofgrace.org. Make sure you guys log on. Get involved with what I got going on because next summer, 2025, I want to have a summer camp for kids, and it's a summer camp of the for the performing arts for kids who sing, dance, rap, uh, kids who act. A lot of actors, mainly acting, play instruments, even sports, but kids who are active. The name of the program is called Kids with Intent. I'm building this program. I need everybody's help because I see this vision and I see it happening. I see it becoming its own standing program and building where kids are coming to learn. Like I'll tell you what it makes me feel like every time I say kids with intent. It makes me feel like Arts Institute. That's what it makes me feel like. Every time I say kids with intent, it makes me feel like Arts Institute. But I want to start with the young kids. I want to get them right, get their minds right to understand what the business is, how to work behind the camera, how to work in front of the camera. Um, Kids with intent, whatever they do, music, plays, staging, lighting. I want to start with the kids, and I need help. I need instructors, teachers, coaches, acting coaches, speaking coaches, piano and guitar teachers, anybody that wants to get involved, just reach out to me. Once again, it's www.tentofgrace.org, and the name of the program is called Kids with Intent. So make sure you guys stay in contact. We'll take all volunteers, any monetary donations you can go through the website to do. I need your help. And I'll be back. I'll be back here with Fifth Charge. I'm going to keep this coming every week for you guys. I'm glad to be back. I had to take a break for a little while, but I am glad to be back with you guys. Yeah, it's Fifth Charge. Yep. You're charged with grace, you're charged with favor, and you're charged to have faith. Alright? You know the name. Shannyn Casino. SCU.